This morning after 7 a.m., Nye County Sheriff's deputies responded to the south side of town to Homestead and Thorne for a report of a domestic, in which the female had left the scene, but in fact reported that her spouse, Gary Walton, had a gun and said he was going to burn down the residence. She reported at that time of witnessing black smoke coming from the double-wide manufactured dwelling. News 41 spoke to Nye County Sheriff Tony DeMeo.
Well, this is involving a dispute which started on Thorne off Homestead. Suspect went to a residence there looking for someone he had a past relationship with. She wasn't there. At that time, he set that location on fire, that house on fire. He then responded to this location here in Janet, set the house on fire. Nye County Sheriff's Office was dispatched. As the deputies got to the scene, they saw the suspect. The suspect tried to ruse them into where he was. The deputies took cover behind the vehicle because we understood there was a gun involved. The suspect took his own life at that time. The suspect is not being identified, and neither is the officers involved. We were not involved in any kind of a shooting incident with the suspect. Like I said, the suspect tried to lure the two deputies, two responding deputies, to where he was near his vehicle. When the deputies took cover behind their vehicle, the deputies heard one gunshot, at which time they waited for further backup. They approached the location and found the suspect had a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
There's reports that these two are married. Does he own both properties?
Doesn't own any of the property down there. We don't know if he owns that property down there. She was there seeking some refuge away from this individual. We hadn't any. Actually, we looked in our local to see if we had anything on him. We didn't. She recently came up to the station and made a complaint to the deputies, which we were investigating at that time. Like I said, is that it's a domestic. We're still under investigation, and once the investigation is complete, then we'll have further information.
The neighbors are saying that there was threats that he said that he was going to burn the houses down.
Well, we're looking into that at that time. Sometimes, I understand, we're looking into that, but sometimes people hear that or make assumption and heard that afterwards. So we're just looking into that right now. I did speak to the victim. I was at Thorne Street first, and spoke to the victim, making sure she was okay. There was kids that were in the house. They were all okay. There was no one in the residence that was injured. Unfortunately, the house is destroyed, that location. And of course, we have the attack over here that occurred as well. Fortunately, the victims are okay, and the suspect, like I said, he decided he was going to take his own life, and that's how it's right now ended for him.
There was a report that there's a disabled kid that lived in the Thorne residence, and he said that there was nobody in the house as he got onto the school bus, saying that his uncle had lit the house on fire.
We're looking into that. It's right now it's an ongoing investigation. We had deputies at the scene taking statements from the victim, and like I said, everybody's okay. Everybody that the suspect was apparently singling out in this domestic, they're all okay. The deputies are okay. The next door neighbors here are okay. And unfortunately, it was property damage. Like I said before, like I just said, as the suspect decided he was going to take his own life. So that's how it ended for him.
Is there anybody that lived in this residence?
Yes, the victim. This is the victim's residence. She lived here. She moved. She went to another location with her children. So I spoke to the victim because this scene here was already adjudicated by the suspect. So like I said, that was so we were at that. I was at that scene first, talking to the victim, making sure the victim's okay, making sure her kids are okay. That's the most important thing. And then we came here because this scene was already taken care of by the command staff here.